So if you are here and you joined this video, welcome to my part 3 of this video. In this video, we're going to talk about how to change your IP to static and host your Explorer so that you can access your Explorer easily because dynamic IPs change and by default Google VMs are giving dynamic IP. So we are going to start right away to change our IP to a static IP, and we are also going to make a pull request on GitHub for the Avail listing. So let's get started right away. And without much ado, I'm going to get started. So first of all, we are going to go to github.com. You need a GitHub account, as I already said, and we also are going to go to Google Cloud, Google Cloud, google.com. Okay, so whilst you are waiting for GitHub account to load, so where we are going to do the fork, the pull request is under Avail listings and app chain. So when you go to Avail listing app chain, you go to add file, then you create a new file to open a pull request. So I'm going to click on create new file. I think I've already created my new file, so this is how I'm going to create a new file. Okay, so the next step is to actually change your IP to static. So what you're going to do is going to the compute engine and you're going to the VM instances and click on the VM instance. Then you're going to click on edit to edit the VM instance. You're going to scroll down and you are going to the where you're going to change the IP. So basically it's under, let me check. Yeah, so you can see IP version 4 and you can see ephemeral. So you're going to change it from ephemeral to static. So you're going to click on reserve external static address, or you can give it any name, Avail, and you're going to click on reserve. Okay, so what it's going to do is I'm going to change the static address to, it's going to change the IP address to static, and you now have a fixed IP address now. So you can just click on save right away, and that's all for it. So for the submissions, if you want to know how the submissions are going, you can just go to pull request and see how the submissions are going. This is the trick I use. And because of the fact that Avail uses a CI/CD pipeline, it will go through a CI/CD pipeline to ensure that all the checks are right, like the formatting checks and everything. So they've already created a pipeline to show that your your input is right. So basically this, you can just copy the format like this. This is how it's supposed to be: name, logo, RPC URL, Explorer URL, metric endpoints, and the IP. So I'm going to just copy this right away, and I name my own OS Kadabra. So the name of your app chain is the name. Then you are going to get an image. You can just upload an image using image generator, IMPGBB. Then you upload an image to get a URL. So I'm going to choose an image on my PC, and I feel like I want to use this image to represent my app chain. Then I'm going to upload it right away. Then this is my link. You can see that when I visit this link, I can now see the image that has been posted on the server, which is accessible. I can decide to copy the image address That is what I'm going to do. Then I'm going to paste it right here as the logo. Let's just check before we finish. So when I go to the image address, you can see the image is right here. Now I'm going to the address URL. The address URL, what is going to be is our IP address, which is right here. So you're going to copy the IP address and we are going to paste it here. So IP address, then it's on port 9944. So IP address port 9944. Then we have the next one, Explorer URL. That one is also an IP address and it's on port 4000. Then we have a metrics endpoint. That one is also an IP address and it's on port 9615/metrics. Then the last one is our ID. So we are going to use an ID generator to get our ID. So let me just check to see if it's working. Make sure the URL is working before you submit, because once you submit, you're going to test it. So but let's just finish this one. For the ID generator, we are going to use ID generator. So you can see how to generate an app ID using Avail. So you can go to the generator web application. This is not even the one I'm talking about. So there is another one under the Avail Madara. Generate your UID generator. Yes, that's what you're going to use. So once you use the UID generator, I'll put the link in the bio as well, so you can generate your version 4 ID. You just copy it and you use that to name your file with .json format. That is going to also be here. That's your UID. Paste it over here. So once you are done with this, you're going to, did I rename the file? I thought I did. Where was I doing this? How come it has changed back to? Yes, this is what I was doing. So it changed to hood run. So basically you can see what we added. Everything is here. And now we are going to paste in the ID, UID we just generated. Now we are going to commit the change and we are going to click on propose changes. So we are basically committing the changes into the repository, and after that you can create a pull request. So a pull request is like a request to make it merge. So what you can use as a title is adding maybe your app chain name. So maybe OS Kadabra. That's what you can do. Then for the so I'm going to check my pull request I did, and I'll show you what I did right there. So this was the pull request that has been approved. So you can just do this as the comment, the description, adding a new app chain by adding all relevant details in a JSON file inside the app chain folder. So once you are done, you create the pull request. You can see that it has shown me that it's able to merge. Okay, once you create a pull request, you can see that the mergeability is working. So it has to go through the CI/CD pipeline. It has to pass all the checks before it can be merged. So once is done passing all the checks, you can just copy this URL and go to the Avail Discord and paste it over there and tag Apov. Ask him to review it for you so that if you want to review it fast. So once he reviews for you and he approves it, automatically it will be made into the main branch. You can see it's going through the CI/CD pipeline. So once it is done, I've already submitted my pull request. This is just for the video purposes. So once it is done, I'll just close the pull request and yeah, we are good to go. So that's basically it. Make sure your app chain is working. We can go back to the app chain by SSHing into the terminal, and whilst we SSH in the terminal, you can see that your app chain is already running on the server. You see it's still going through the pipeline. All these checks should be marked. If there's one unmarked, you need to find the reason why it's unmarked and you take it. So you can see this is a required, this are required. So pre-tier pull request is the formatting, pull request validate entry. So it has the format. You see like the JSON file you put over there, that format, it makes sure that you are going according to that. If you are not going according to that, automatically it will be rejected. You understand? So it also check the file changes as well. This is the last one. Then this is the auto merge. It checks whether it can be able to be merged easily into the main branch. So whilst we wait for the SSH, yes, so I can see the into the Madara CLI and I can check my active screen by typing tmux_ls to check my active window. You can see I have an active window. So I want to switch to an active window. I can type tmus. I mean how to what I do, how to switch into um how to reattach tmus screen. So basically you can type this. I've forgotten a little bit. I'm used to so reattach tmus attach d then T session ID. So because that's the session ID you want to reattach, then type TMUX attach D hyphen T then the session ID. So all I'm going to do is that I'm going to get back to the session and see if my app chain is running as usual. So my session ID is 0 as you can see here. So I'm going to type 0. You can see my app chain is running as usual. So we are very good to go. Make sure that the IP is working when you try it. So another thing to do to check if your app chain is running on your port 4000 is to use this command. So in order to end the app chain, in order to detach the app chain, you're not ending it, it's still running. You press Ctrl plus B, then you press D to detach. So you can see it has been successfully detached from session 0. So right now, when if you want to check if it's running, there is a way of going about it. When you go to the Avail documentation, you can check hold on. So there's this command you type right away to check the port if it's running. I think we did that in the previous video, but we can do that again just to see what's going on our app chain, whether it's actually running on port 4000. So the command is just hold on, target dot target slash release Madara Explorer. So it tells me that what that home permission denied. Yes, so we need to get superuser permission by using sudo su. Then we type this command again. Then you can see that it is running on localhost port 4000. So basically that. So I think I'm done with this video, and you are good to go once you check that your VM instance is actually running on that port. You don't have anything to worry about. your Appchain should be running and you're good to go.